There are three ways to manage context. One of them is compaction. Everyone is familiar with it, and that's why we have the compact button right here. This is where another session comes and compacts the entire conversation, basically rewrites everything in a compact way. Then you have the handoff skill right here. And the handoff skill works in a similar way, but it only focuses on what's important for the next task based on what you are about to do next. So it's not going to summarize what's not important. So it's more efficient. And it's going to open a new chat for you and start the brief either automatically, either after your review, whatever you choose. And the third one, which is only available in Valo, is context trim, which is when the session deletes all the turns that are irrelevant. And we just realized that this is actually much better than I initially gave it credit. And it's much better because it's subtractive. The model just needs to delete a few turns and that's it. It's much faster and it's much more context efficient. When you use compaction or even the handoff skill, the session needs to write a brief from scratch to summarize it and give the paths and write it, and it takes time and it takes context. And context trimming is not only subtractive, so it's not just deleting messages. It can also replace them with a short summary. So it's like a hybrid with a handoff and deleting what's irrelevant in one chat, and it all happens much quicker, and you can do it however many times you want in one chat, and you can keep the flow going. You can keep the meaning and remove all of the heavy work from the context. Everything you talked about still stays here in the chat, in your words, and even the reactions from the model that matters for the next turn. So for that reason, I'm going to replace this compact button with a context button, and then it will be a drop-up. You will click it and you will have options: context trim, handoff, and then compact at the top. And I think the context trim should be closer to the button because that's the one that everyone should probably use, especially beginners, because they don't have their preference in the Claude MD yet. They don't have hooks, they don't have the memory setup and all of that stuff. So using context trim is amazing because it's keeping everything exactly as you said it. So there is no broken telephone game. It just deletes all of the hard work, all of the tool calls, all of the coding sessions, but all of the chat stays. And as you know, the chat itself is very, very lightweight. Everything that is heavy is the actual context. And while we are talking about context, let me show you what we already did with the model. If you go to Claude, you can play with the context size right here. I'm not going to do it while the session is working, but what's cool is the context string updates live as well. So you can just set it to whatever you want. And the reason we did it is for orchestration mainly, because usually I don't even use compaction, right? We just explained why compaction is inefficient. So the only reason we have it is for orchestration, because if you want the orchestrator to work autonomously, you can just have set the compaction to happen at 250, 300,000 for Claude, and then it will just keep going, because everything it did is kind of important. It needs to know about everything. So in this sense, compaction works. So yeah, those are the three ways to manage context. You can also do that manually, by the way, but what's the point? You can just click a button and Valo will do it for you.